Well, I can't think of a better way to start a meeting than to celebrate with the champions of Grand Island, and tonight with the girls bowling team was just another good example of that. And you know, to be runners-up for a few years in a row, you know they had a desire to win, and they got that done. And it's just a great accomplishment for them. It's a great accomplishment for Grand Island. We just hope this trend continues in the years to come with all the champs that we've been seeing. I think the accomplishment of the health department is just another feather in the cap of Grand Island as we look at the excellence that we have here. Just another form of excellence for not only our city but for the health department in specific, and the good work that they do. A lot of times they're not appreciated for nearly all the good things they do, but we have dedicated men and women there that are there to serve this community and make sure that we're just as healthy as possible. And accreditation is just another way to get there, and something not very many people do. So we do, once again, have a lot to be proud about in this city. Finding the right leader is just paramount for any organization, and the health department has got such a high standard for excellence now, especially with what we just talked about with accreditation. We have to make sure, they have to make sure that that right person is identified to keep that momentum going. Not only are they accredited, they have to remain that way and are responsible for the funds that they get, and that will be a big job, but I'm confident the right person will come to Grand Island and continue to lead that organization. When I'm looking at a TIF application, one of the things that stands out to me is what is that percentage that they're requesting. There are times we have people that are asking 25%, 30%. Those are getting pretty borderline to me, but it also depends on how badly we need that housing. In this particular case with Sterling, you're looking at about a 20% participation. And the good news is, from Grand Island City standpoint, we've not raised our property tax in many years. So a TIF application and granting such as this doesn't impact the city like people think. Undoubtedly, other entities are impacted to a certain extent, but the end result is another 120 units that will be filled there in that area. So it's very important for us to keep the housing market going in a way that we need to. And right now, apartments to me is really the way we need to be doing that. For the Ryder Park project, it's a great example of public-private. So it's not a city funded only, but we have people that are passionate about their sport, and we have people that are just helping us with that project. So to see needs and improvements there, change orders, that's part of the process. When it comes to the 18-hole miniature golf, to me, there are some legitimate changes there as well when we're looking at the substrate as far as where are all these holes going to be installed, all these courses. And you got to make sure you're doing it on the right surface. You don't want the thing sinking and cracking over time. When we talk about the addition of a cave or a tunnel, that brought me a little pause, wondering if that is worth the additional $165,000. But when we look at the big picture and the impact it can have on the entire golf course experience, it's well within that 10% contingency fund that we try to live within. And I think ultimately it's going to just enhance that entire experience there. So I'm really, while I was a little negligent at first and a little hesitant, I think it's going to be a good addition. I think what we had tonight before the council was, it was bigger than an $1,800 bill, but tonight it was an $1,800 bill, a disagreement in how these funds should be distributed. I think the entire organizations, the city and the Humane Society, have to hammer out some details in the contract for definitions. I think the intent is good, but when you're talking about a contract, we've talked about the letter of a contract versus the spirit of the contract. And so we just need to make sure that all those little details, the little things that cause confusion when it comes to billing are smoothed out and everybody knows exactly who's to pay what and how it's billed. And that's where the confusion was tonight. There was some misunderstandings, I think, of what should be paid and what shouldn't. Tonight I'm happy that the council said let's just pay this tonight, and we're going to work through those differences in the future so that everybody's on the same page. Yeah, I think having Railside not only ask different entities for $135,000 for these speakers, they are willing to raise $10,000 on their own, and that tells me that they have skin in the game as well. The speakers are going to, again, enhance that entire experience of Railside year-round, and I think it's going to be good for us. And to Mark Stelk's point, in emergencies, in weather emergencies, we're going to have another way to notify people. But overall, Railside, 4th Street, all great places to go, and these are just ways to continue to enhance that experience. It's obvious that a bookmobile is stirring up some excitement in our community, something that we haven't had for quite some time. And to see everyone pulling together with the foundations and Celine willing to reallocate some of her funds from a kiosk to a bookmobile, those are all encouraging signs. The amount of service that this bookmobile can do for the city is just unbelievable because it's mobile. It will be able to go wherever those needs are. We'll be able to meet not only technological hotspots, but it will allow people a chance to get access to those books that they're just not going to get any other way. So a bookmobile is going to change the dynamics of that library once again, and I know there are just many, many people that are excited about that opportunity.